We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get Sushi after Monday Night Raw?
Oh, we are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republics. Off the air immediately following NXT every Tuesday night. We don't miss anything here. Today in particular, we do miss, I will say, the guy you should believe in, Andre Drizzy Martin. And we do also miss the man you should put your twos up for, the Tuesday Night Delight, Shoddy. But I've got a wicked crew. You can't say off the bench when you're putting starters in the game. Let me introduce them to you real quick. First and foremost, I'm going to send you to maybe the least surprising because you only saw him merely hours ago. On today's daily, from the DC area, the DMV, the guy owns a college. It's Aunt You. What's good? How are you? Happy Tuesday.
2 times in one day. Let's make this happen, man. NXT was a blast tonight. So I can't wait to talk about it with you guys. And I mean, the partner we have on here today, apropos, best in the business. So let's have some fun.
Absolutely. And let me introduce him to you because first and foremost, I have to say this. I have not wished him enough happy birthdays. In the Taylor household, your birthday doesn't last 1 week, it lasts a month. And I think it starts from the day of your birth beyond that. So happy birthday once again. But more importantly, I've got my co-host from Sold Separately, the man from Philadelphia, the head of opinions. I've got Anthony Ricciardi as the surprise run-in on a Tuesday night. How are you, Anthony?
I'm doing all right. For the second time this year, Clark is depriving me of sleep to do something. So let's get into this.
I was going to say, pause. It's only to broadcast, right? Not to do something. Let's be
Oh, my
kidding.
The previous time was to go to a Midnight Progress show.
That's true. That's your
Mania
wrestling
weekend
show. I was like, no, I bought you a ticket. It's too late. You're going. We've got DCX Warlord in the comments. Chase, you should have won. I'm not happy with Drizzy's Girl Lash Legend right now. DCX Warlord. Shoot. Drizzy will be back next week. I assure you, DCX Warlord. So hang in there, and we'll talk about it. But let's start with Sol Ruka, and oh my goodness, Shad's not here. Tatum Paxley. It's just another Tatum Tuesday.
Wow.
Nothing more fun on Tuesday nights. That's Shad's gimmick. I feel like it's a little bit of infringement by me, but I did have to give him credit because he's usually here to hit the song. The net of it is, she was caught in another soul snatcher. And that was the end of the match. As far as that's concerned, I thought Tatum and Soul put on a heck of a main event. We've been a little bit critical on this program recently about the way main events have been booked. I actually enjoyed this one. I don't think it was the most flashy. It wasn't the coolest thing they could do. It wasn't the shiniest gem they could unveil. But at the same time, it was really well wrestled. And it felt more like NXT to me than we've seen in recent weeks. Aunt You, I'm going to start with you, and then I'm going to go to Aunt You as well. But at the same time, talk to me about it.
Yeah, man. No, the main event, it was a main event for a reason. Everything that Sol Ruka touches now turns to gold. Whether it's her belts, whether it's Zarya, whether it's just the matches she's in. Her matches with Kalani were amazing, and she's making Tatum Paxley look awesome. The modified cutter that Tatum Paxley hit off the top rope, just to all the little spots in there with the doll and everything. Like, Tatum Paxley looks like a legit champion. Like she could be a legit champion on the show at any time soon. But yeah, no, like it was fun to watch. I love the interaction of Zarya with the calling. She's not scared of any of them. The pairing of Zarya and Sol Ruka is growing on me daily. At first, I didn't understand them being together, but it's just fun. It's light. And obviously, they don't have anything for Zarya. So, hey, let's put her with the most athletic woman on the show right now.
No doubt about it. I love that. We've got so many comments to go through here that I love too. We got Corey Bain, I know, getting his ones up, but I will say, I think we've got Ant 1 and Ant U. If that makes any sense, I don't know. Maybe that's just a me thing. Chase, you should have won from DCX Warlord. We've also got the newest addition to Wrestling Republic, Angie Diva, with oh wow, a late night one for me.
Yeah.
Monster shout out. If you didn't catch Angie on the daily yesterday, what in the wide world of sports are you doing? Come on, man. Go check it out. We've also got Buenos Noches, WR Crew, absolutely, from Fernando Zayas. We've got all kinds of good ones. Oyster Day just cracked me up as well. The U's up, no doubt, from Corey. Absolutely. I love that. Yes.
Super
But
fun.
now we're going to get the ones up for the original Ant. The original WR Ant. That's Richardy too. And that's no knock on Ant U. We're all here together, but at the same time, do. Yes, I love that. That's outstanding. This is where we need a soundboard, man. On
Right.
Tuesday nights, at least on a Tuesday night, we need a soundboard. But Anthony, I know you watch as much wrestling as anybody when it comes to the industry. And something I'm real curious about is Tatum Paxley. Obviously, we have this, I don't want to say gimmick, but we've got a whole thing running about how big of fans we are of her. Were you as impressed by this main event as we were, or do you think that might be more of a time and place thing? Also, obviously, Sol Ruka, a candidate to be called up to the main roster. Do you feel like that's in the near future or a little bit further away than we might have realized?
I think it's one of those things that the women's division in WWE as a whole is probably more stacked than it's ever been. My only concern about if you call Sol Ruka up now or anybody up now, where are you going to put them? That's my only problem, because right now I think she's in that sweet spot, and she's carrying the mid card title of the women's division there. She could easily become NXT champion there. So I don't necessarily think there's a rush to call either one of them up. And I don't think it hurts either one, because they're on CW and obviously Netflix internationally. So they're on a big platform to begin with. So I think they're okay, because the last thing you want is for them to get called up, like a lot of other people to get called up, and they don't pan out, or they don't get quote unquote used in the same way. I thought the match was solid. Both women delivered. Sol Ruka is one that from the moment I first saw her, I was like, there's something special here. There's an aura about her. That finisher is phenomenal. She's appeared in NXT. She's appeared in TNA. She's getting nice exposure right now. And I believe Tatum appeared in TNA as well. So they're getting nice exposure, and a feud for the North American title could be useful in this scenario for both women, because that's one of the complaints. The secondary titles in women's divisions are really not getting the push in wrestling as a whole. And you look at AEW, Mercedes technically has the second one, but like everyone kind of forgets that because she has like a dozen other titles.
And so she's at the top of the card. I exactly understand.
So
where
you
you're
don't
coming from
really
there.
you don't really see it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the complaint with obviously Becky and Lyra did with the Intercontinental at SummerSlam, but it's as a whole, they're not really holding up that true secondary title aspect. These two in a feud, you might be able to do something with that. And I agree with Aunt You. Zarya, they really don't know what to do with her. And it's
Right.
kind of an
Yeah.
odd couple. It's an odd couple pairing. I was kind of surprised because if you go back, because they kept hyping up the NXT in Philadelphia, and I was at the last one. If you remember, they brought in Jordan Grace, who was under TNA contract at the time.
At the time,
And they won
Right.
that super babyface team won. But if you looked at the footage when it went off the air, because there was a brief moment with Zarya and Jordan, there was like a tension there, and they teased it, but they never really followed up with it. They never, and I remember saying to my buddy Chris, who I went to the show with, I guess Zarya is her first opponent when she eventually jumps to NXT, and obviously that never
You
really
would
panned
think-
out.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because I think about this. We broke down that Rusev and Sheamus match
Mhm.
from today earlier.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going to toss this back to you and you really quickly because it's interesting. The slugfest, that was out of left field. That was nothing. But Zarya and Jordan, like you said, is a match. What are we doing with Zarya? How do we fix this? That's something that I'm unsure of because the way I look at it, I'm like, shoot, resume wise, Zarya is as good as anybody
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
at the end of the day. And I'm like, how do we get it right? Her in a slugfest with Jordan Grace maybe very quickly can solve a lot of problems. I don't know if that's the case, but what do you think?
I think Zarya's gonna have to turn on Sol Ruka. That's your match right there. The budding friendship, the everyone being together, and like when it comes out of left field, it's gonna be great because I feel like they are holding Zarya back right now. We all know what Delta could do. We've all seen the match between Delta and Jordan Grace. We've seen the matches between Delta and Masha Slamovich, and like she is a bona fide badass. So I feel like when they do unleash Zarya, like right now, it almost feels like they want us to forget about Zarya. You know, like, oh, she's just here, she's doing fun things. But then when it hits, it's gonna be like, whoa.
I think it's for maximum impact. Like you said,
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where it's like the beast is calm. And then she, at some point she's going to start destroying people. And that would be a logical move if you have her destroy Sol Ruka, take the title off of her. Jordan is the logical choice, the juggernaut. Like that would be a logical move, and you can kind of do the callback. You can kind of do different things with that. Because I'm not exactly sure what they're doing with the NXT women's title, because obviously it's the double champ now. So I don't really know exactly where they're going with that.
That's a good point too, and it affects both divisions,
Mhm.
right? Like as Aunt you mentioned, I like the idea though of Zarya. The Beast was quiet, hibernation, right?
Mhm.
Talking about bears, animals
Yeah.
like that, right? Like
Like I could totally see the heel turn where she just snaps and goes, did you think that I was just going to sit back and let you get all the
Who
glory?
did you actually think I was?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Or
That's
just, I
that's
can't
the smart-
believe I was being nice to you. Like I feel like
Yes.
Soul loses the title, starts blaming Zarya. Like
Yes.
you know who you're
When-
talking to. Right?
Wouldn't that make Sol Ruka the heel though if she starts placing blame on Zarya
Yeah, I'm cool.
in that scenario?
No, I
I'm
think
cool.
Zarya at that point, I think is the one that starts to not say anything and just starts beating people up. Right? whatever it is, it depends on how you go with it. But we got Corey Bain here. She needs to start crashing out. I like that. We've got Fernando Zayas with Zarya versus Sol Ruca would be dope. Yes, I think that's what all three of us here are alluding to.
Yeah.
Down the road.
I could see that the NXT, whatever the NXT show, or probably around the Rumble, would probably be where they would. I don't think they'd stretch out the Mania weekend, but they could. But I think Rumble would be the most logical at this point, or
I actually
Survivor
don't
Series
mind
possibly.
that at all.
Yeah,
It may be as early as November.
could. Yeah,
I don't know.
It's got to be somewhere in that stretch.
Well, the other thing
they're
is
doing
with the triple A thing, with the triple A thing,
Mm-hmm.
you never know. You could arguably do it earlier there.
Well,
And where I'm a little fascinated is I think this should be involved as much as the TNA partnership is with the NXT stuff.
honestly, you could do something because Bound for Glory is coming up in October. You could do a team NXT against a team TNA, and that's where the friction starts between the two of them.
Here's what I'd like to see, and I'm drawing a blank on the name of the match, but it's the winner of the match gets the NXT Women's Championship. You know, Trick won it, Tiffany Stratton won it.
You're talking about the deadline. The deadline.
Yes.
Yeah. If you have
the Iron Survivor.
Iron Survivor, thank you, Anthony.
Yes.
If you have Sol Ruca
I dig it.
accidentally cost,
Mm-hmm.
like cost Zarya the Soul Survivor match,
Mm-hmm.
then Zarya's not going after Jordan Grace with the women's championship, or whoever has it at that time.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're teasing Jordan versus Zarya for that, and Zarya looks like the front runner in the match, Soul accidentally cost her the match, then it's writing itself right there, because you got the big ones coming. You got a takeover coming up after that. You got stuff that you can really sell that match for.
The Iron Survivor match as a whole, I think, is a special match, almost like the Rumble, where you could branch different stories off of it.
Exactly.
And that is one of those special things that I don't think people realize. I don't think they really look at it in the sense of they're just thinking, okay, well, this person went in and this person won. Yeah, but what's spider webbed out of that match? And a lot of times there's other things that branch out.
I hear you there. I think the Iron Survivor match, the way you said it too, though, is important. Because the biggest thing to me about it is I think it works so well that it when it comes to a storyline like this, it can be the kicker. And I like the way that we got there. I'm not totally sure about it. We've got a bunch of different comments. I love this one. Crack me up. Deadline Anthony. Which one? DCX Warlord. I'm totally kidding. But at the same time, let's talk really quickly about something that I need to take some time to speak about, and that's Kalani Jordan versus Blake Monroe. Because I know that Blake Monroe looks nearly identical to a woman that held the world title in AEW named Mariah May. I'm still not convinced that they're the same person.
I think they're cousins.
They may be related. I don't know. There's a lot of look-alike stuff going on here. I don't know. Obviously, with the name change, there's not believability is difficult for me when it comes to that. But she takes on Kalani Jordan, who I believe, of the bunch of women's wrestlers that I've covered on this very program, on Off the Air, for not one, not two, but 3 years now, Kalani Jordan is the most ready bell to bell for the main roster of any woman in that division, and it's not close. It's not close, and she proves it every single time out. Tongue in cheek or not, when it comes to my thoughts on Blake Monroe. At the end of the day, whatever happened in this match, Kalani Jordan deserves better. And she deserves more than a welcome to the show match to open the card on a Tuesday night against Blake Monroe. And I'm going to go to you first, then I'm going to go to you, Anthony. But man, hey, it bothered me. What were your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly with you. I believe Kalani Jordan has done everything she can do in NXT, aside from win the main women's championship. And if past tells us anything about that, I don't think you need to win the NXT Women's Championship to have an amazing main roster run. Bianca Belair never won it. And that's just the first one that can come to mind. But yeah, so I feel, like Kalani Jordan taking the loss the way she did was disrespectful. But I feel it needs to happen because we've gotten so much of this, is Lonnie a heel? Is she not a heel? Is she about to crash? Like, Lonnie needs to go full heel. We need to see what that character looks like, and then we will know for sure if she's ready for the main roster. But the signs are there. And I feel like I'm always talking about someone needs to turn heel, but like, stop teasing us with it if you're not going to do it.
I'm not even trying to argue, bro, but why? She's that good, bell to bell. She's been that good, bell to bell, as a character. What more does she have to prove? Why does she have to prove that she's a heel on NXT? Why not show that on the main roster if they think that's what she can do? If they need a heel for the main roster, call up a heel. But if you need a babyface, if you need somebody that can work from underneath, bell to bell, with anybody in the women's division in the world right this second, Kalani Jordan's the freaking call up.
When Kalani Jordan was having her feud with Jada Parker, and we were seeing the more intensity and the more, like, that's when I was fully invested in Kalani Jordan. When she had the crash out on the bus before WrestleMania, and her and Jada Parker were fighting on the bus, just the attitude change, the difference. Like, I don't think she needs to go full heel, but we need to be able to see if she's got that edge, because, being the pretty cheerleader, it's only going to get you so far.
I think that's totally fair. And Ricciardi. Now I'm going to go to you on this one. Your thoughts, same subject, same stuff. Talk to me about it.
I think Kalani is one of those interesting characters that, honestly, she could probably spend her entire career as a babyface. We saw Ricky Steamboat do it. Rey Mysterio has done it. I mean, Rey briefly had the heel run, but not much. Like, he's fondly remembered as a babyface. I think she probably was doing her best work against Jada Parker. I remember watching that NXT 2300 show. Kalani, there's a lot there. She could definitely be an influx to inject some enthusiasm into the secondary titles on the main roster, because she did that with the North American title in NXT. I don't really know why she's still there, other than they probably, like the same thing I said earlier with Sol Ruca. I don't know if they know where to put her. And you don't want her just floating on the main roster and everyone's going to go, they're not using her right. Nobody wants to hear that. So, like, it's like, do you keep her in NXT to try to get at least a little bit more juice out of this can? Or do you bring her to the main roster to sit in catering or not be used right? To me, I'd rather see her on a smaller stage, but being used right in this scenario and waiting it out a little bit. I do think she'll probably get called up in the next go around. The Blake Monroe, or as you want to call it, maybe perhaps Clark, the Parent Trap situation.
Almost Mariah May.
I mean,
Mariah May. Mariah May.
It could be the Parent Trap situation. It could easily be that, she murdered somebody and she's changed her name to hide the identity and hoping no one would recognize it. I mean, there's any number of scenarios there, but I actually like the match only because if that's a tease for a future longer term program, I felt like that protected both of them because yes, Blake Monroe lost, but she lost by count out. So she didn't take the loss.
Yes.
It was far fetched with the, waiting SUV for her in the back. Side note, and I do want to say this because this always annoys me in wrestling in general. Can we stop if we are running out to save someone or jump someone that you need your entrance music to play first? Because that's only worked for two people. One, Austin, because that's an unbelievable
glass break. Then you just make the move.
Everyone loves that. The only other person that works with is the Undertaker. And the reason for that is there's a gong, the lights go out, he just mysteriously appears in the ring.
So he's already dead.
But those are the only two it makes sense. Anybody else that you're waiting for your entrance, or worst case scenario, Jeff Hardy with the dance while his brother's getting beat down on the edge with Christian, that's horrible. And then you made it worse because it's the crappy Jordan Grace music. It's not the good one. At least if it was the siren, you're like, okay, it's great. It's the Jordan music.
Kai Morse over on Instagram with Jeff Hardy, no Jeff Hardy. And then we've also got Unrealized Thoughts with a really interesting comment. He goes, this is the paradox NXT is running into lately. All of the talent from 2022 and 2023 are in limbo. Tatum, Kalani, Wes, Lola, etc. I am not inclined to even argue against that.
Wes especially, because he was on a tear.
Roll.
You know what I mean? Like he was
they were calling him butter. He was on a roll.
Yeah, I mean he really was. He was on probably one of the best runs of his literally the best singles run of his career. So the only problem is, where do you put these people on the main roster? Like this is one of those things. I never advocate for people getting fired, but I say this with WWE and I say this with AEW. There are too many people on their rosters. You need to thin the herd. If you want these people to move up, you gotta move other people out.
And to your point, TNA exists, but Aunt, what are your thoughts on that one?
No, like I don't even think you need to thin the roster. Like, why can't we bring 205 Live back?
No one watched it the first time.
Oh, I watched it every week.
Clearly there weren't enough.
Cedric Alexander had the best matches on there when he was 205 Live champ.
Didn't they try this with Speed? How'd that pan out?
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I feel like
their safest option right now is if TNA gets a CW deal, which I strongly believe that's a huge reason why the TNA titles are on CW right now, is part of that. You get on there, that gives you another platform where you can.
Now you have one more. That actually makes a lot of sense, I will say. But Aunt, I do want to give you the time as well when it comes to this one.
No, I just like I said, man. I just feel like a show like 205 Live, because when you look at the roster and you look at the guys that when you're just like, okay, what are they going to do with them on the main roster? They need something else, right? Like Wesley, Javon Evans, those guys would be great in that. And I think the first time they did 205 Live, it was just they brought in a bunch of people. Like, if you were a diehard wrestler, you knew, but if you were a casual and you're just like, oh, I'm going to watch this new show, no one had any idea who Noam Dar was. No one knew who his name wasn't Pac then. I can't remember what they called him back then. But you know what I mean? Neville. But I mean, they had to take Enzo and put him on the show for more casuals to start watching. But 205 Live was a fun show to watch. It was a fun show to watch. And I think, like, when you're going out and you're getting these D1 athletes, not everyone is a big muscle bound, guy anymore. You're not getting a bunch of those. You're getting your athletic little guys.
I love the fact that you forgot the man that gravity forgot. That is the best part of that.
I know what they call him now.
The bastard, Pac. We can say it. It's Tuesday night. It's not the daily. Sorry, Ben. Whoops. Did I say bastard? I did it again. Either way.
It only counts if you say it 3 times like Beetlejuice.
The point is, I'm with you actually on that, and you when it comes to what 205 Live represented. I think NXT sort of started to embody that for a period. And I think we got to a stage now where and to your earlier point, Anthony, this is so difficult. You guys are both Anthonys.
You say this every time.
I know, and I book you guys on the same show as me every time. It's my fault.
Why don't you just call me classic at this point?
I just shut him
Like Chavo Senior.
Yeah. Ricciardi. Either way, Italian Anthony and Anthony University. The way that I'm looking at this is stop it. It's Tuesday night, but
you went down this road.
Off. You all knock it off. Either way,
this is what happens when you invite us.
Shoot. What was I thinking?
Well, while you're thinking of that thought, you know what they could do? And honestly, I think it was a mistake to only do it once.
Download undercard.
Do a new Cruiserweight Classic. Because now now you have your own talent. You have TNA. Oh yeah, and you got AAA too. You bought that. So you got 3 different rosters.
Donnie De Silva in the chat with what I was told by an agent. They won't bring back 205 because the belief is that nobody that small that's on 205 will ever become a top of the company star. So it felt like it wasn't worth it.
I gotta be honest. I always thought what they should have done when people.
Thank God I'm 240.
When people complained about Raw being 3 hours, I thought they should have done the Nitro thing, the first hours to the cruiserweights and hyping up the main show.
I mean, I don't even know if you have to organize it that much.
No, not now because ain't 3 hours.
NXT. With where we were back at, I think as far as the influx of talent, Ben always does his, ageism thing. Like,
yeah, the biasness. Yes.
Don't be too old.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's pushing the Karrion Kross narrative. Isn't Karrion Kross around the same age as LA Knight?
Is the more eyeballs you can put on the product, the better. So, like you said, when it comes to the TNA potential on the CW. Now we can display all these talents. Now suddenly we can book a card where everybody can work. And it works.
Honestly, if you're looking for a space to put it, and I don't know if A&E wants it, replace LFG. Honestly, it's not good.
LFG is starting to fade.
The first season was good. The second one is I gave up on the second season.
I gotta ask.
I like LFG better than I do Evolve.
Evolve's incredibly disappointing, but again, it's supposed to be minor league. So
replace main event. Put main event on
even
Tubi.
Airing?
No, that's what I'm saying. Put main event on Tubi. Let people watch it free. Look, dude, put it on Saturday mornings.
You know what? Do YouTube. Put them on YouTube. You're doing that with the AAA stuff.
All right, we got 2 segments before we go home for the main event here. Well, actually, not that implies
2 things left.
We only have 2 left.
Yes,
we're gonna talk Thea Hale and Nia Jax, and poor Thea just got annihilated. Technically, that's a bonsai drop, at least in my eyes. I'm gonna go to you, Aunt. You on this. Did you see anything special here?
Okay, so first of all, for the simple fact that Thea lasted longer than CM Punk's title reign against Nia Jax, I said it, made me enjoy the match. Like, I like everything about Thea Hale. I like how I love her energy. I love the fact that she's given the ring fingers when she comes out. She's coming out and giving the ring. Like, it's hilarious, right? So Thea Hale has always been a great character. When she was with Chase U, she was great with the hulking up and all that crazy stuff. So when she finally figures out her niche and they start to push her, it's gonna be good, right? Because she held, I mean, like, yeah, she took the pin, but she held her own with Nia, and it didn't look like the squash match that it could have been. It didn't look like Brock Lesnar versus versus Rey Mysterio back in the day. It was a great match. Nia coming down and working with some of these younger people. I can't say enough about Nia and her return to WWE and how much she's changing and how much she just looks like she's having fun with what she's doing. Now, the match that Nia is about to have, I'm not going to say too much. I'll let Clark bring it up. But the battles and brawls that happen all night tonight, I'm so excited for that.
I could not agree more. And honestly, Thea Hale, it's interesting. We've got a great comment here that I want to read. And Anthony Ricciardi, I apologize. You're not going to get time on Thea Hale. But the Thea has a huge main roster ceiling from Donna De Silva. Yes, I couldn't agree more. She's 21 years old.
Right.
Who has a bigger one? We have some funk over here in the comments, whether it's Instagram and elsewhere. We've got Yorel Official 26 with Cody Rhodes is the face of WWE, the top baby face of the company. He's a very solid baby face. And
why are you reading this one?
That's not on NXT.
I know. So why are you
I
reading
wanted to be really clear about that one. We also have this one, though. Possible italics. How did you enjoy Cody Raheem Rhodes? Not an original joke. I come from stand-up comedy. You're going to make a joke. Make it original. That's been done before. Winning the title.
I've seen it on a shirt.
SummerSlam. Yeah, that happens.
They love messing with me about Cody Rhodes because they know my unfiltered dislike.
Everybody knows. That's not the right one I wanted to read. It's, can we all appreciate that Jax easily the most improved wrestler in any company over the last 5 years? Literally every woman on the roster wants to work with her. Donnie De Silva, I agree with you often. That I've never agreed with you more on, because here's the scoop. She was overly criticized. She was ostracized, and it's a joke. She's so darn good, you can't make it up. Anthony Ricciardi, I know you want to talk about this, but I'm going to ant you on this one because, dude, Nia Jax.
Do I not get a say in any of this? You just went
no joke, OG Loke. It's Ant U's time.
He just talked about her.
I swear I did. Okay, fine. Nia Jax. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to Anthony Ricciardi because, it's still his birthday month. But no, Nia Jax is doing everything she needs to do right to get back to the position she needs. Take it away, Ian.
Talk to me.
Okay, so I don't think anybody expected when Nia Jax originally got released back in the day. She was, she's dangerous. She's ungood. She's remembered for two things: inadvertently creating the man and my hole. Is the famous moment. That's all in the past. She somehow has reached a point where she's a potential Hall of Famer. If anything, she's going to be. She is a completely different performer today than she was then. And I've said this before, the two best rehirings that Triple H did when he came back was her and Chelsea Green. They are the two best hires, men or women. They are the two best. Nia was a beast as that women's champion, queen of the ring, everything. Gotta be honest. I preferred her reign over Tiffany's now, if I'm being completely honest. Tiffany was, the lackey of Nia, but like really Nia as the dominant champion threatening Tiffany. That was way more interesting than what Tiffany's doing now. I'm sure that's going to anger a lot of people, but quite frankly, I'm not into the whole Barbie doll thing. That she's trying to be a face, but she's really not. She's a natural heel. I said the same thing with MJF. Stop trying to make him a face. He's a natural heel. Let him be somebody and let her be somebody the audience loves to hate. Stop trying to put them in a box that they don't belong in. Go ahead, Clark. Say whatever you want to say.
I know we're getting ready to end, but I need to answer Donnie De Silva's question.
Which one?
Name a better female monster in the WWE history you can.
China.
I'm gonna go Drewski could have been records right now. If Karma didn't get pregnant.
I was going to say that.
Shoot.
Awesome Kong, yeah.
Awesome. Shoot. She would have been so I can't say she's better than Nia because she got pregnant. If she didn't get pregnant, the run she was on, being the woman in the Royal Rumble and taking people out, dude,
if you count the TNA and everything outside of it, that's a real debate right there.
But he said in WWE.
No, I'm saying if you're looking at an overall performer, that's what I mean.
Yes.
Santina Morella from Possible Italics. That's hilarious.
Hey, that's Miss WrestleMania.
Agreed. Kong could have been.
Yeah, could have been.
Wasn't. I love this. In another multiverse. In another multiverse.
I would love to see, and I don't think they would do it, but if they would do a one-off, bring her in to take out Nikki Bella. And then you could have her going, I told you I was going to snap you.
In the show there.
Do it in the Rumble.
100% in.
Do it in the Rumble. Have her destroy both Bellas.
I mean, man.
All right. I believe you got one more, Clark.
We could talk about this the rest of the evening. I mean, honestly, I guess technically we should talk about Elba Femi, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans with Moose in the same ring before we go home.
Okay.
The prize segment.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar's wet dream, dude. He saw those black champions.
It happens. Got them all in the ring at once. And you said it, not me, but I am in agreement.
So
it's the Costco of women of world champions. Is that what you're saying?
Dude, man, like when I saw when Nia turned 50, yeah,
I'll take when Nia turns.
Naomi better watch her back.
Naomi's
She's family.
in trouble.
Naomi needs to be careful.
Okay, at the end of the day, they're going in the ring, and then. You know what? Honestly, we only got 45 minutes to be here.
Nah, man.
We should probably go home before we get ourselves in trouble out here. I'm kidding.
No, we got to talk about those four being in the ring.
Yeah.
We got to talk about those four being
sincerely.
And like when it was just the three, when it was Javon, Oba, and Trick, I'm like, oh, they're running it back with two of them being champions. I'm excited for this. And then Moose's music hit. And it was just, my ancestors started screaming, dog. Having that much excellence in the ring at one time, it was so fun to watch. Like the show was heavy. The show was heavy. You had Nia and Lash almost every segment just fighting. You had Sol Ruka in the main event. Like it was a great episode.
It was.
I do love that WWE's new trope now is the whole at random points they'll have two people just beating the heck out of each other throughout the whole show. I know they go to it multiple times. It's enjoyable every time, to be honest. But yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. I do love that they're plugging the upcoming TNA pay-per-view where Moose is, going to face Trick. That's just wild to me, just watching that, considering the relationship that those two companies had at one point, and now they're hyping the other one show. You know what I mean? It's just wild.
That is kind of gnarly, actually, in hindsight.
You know what I mean? Like at one point, these company was like blacklisted. Everybody from the company was blacklisted because Dixie Carter and TNA accused them of stealing talent, and now like, so at our next pay-per-view, you WWE talent will be defending our title on our pay-per-view, and it's like it's just wild.
Here we are now.
You know, we are like this.
Check it out.
We are this close to getting the Mike Awesome losing the ECW title to Taz moment where something like that is going to happen, where like Matt Cardona is going to win like the TNA title, jump to AEW, and then lose to AJ Styles. Watch that, like something like that'll happen at some point.
It's golden. It's hard to deny too. It is. It's pretty much the scoop. Are we going to actually talk about Imra and Stacks to end the show? That's technically in the list.
Listen,
Donnie broke me. Donnie
got me good.
Listen, I loved Stacks jumping him to start the thing. The visual I thought was really cool on that. I do want to know whether or not Tony D is suffered the Sopranos ending, because I kind of want to know, like, are we ever going to see him again, or is he dead?
Yeah, it's kind of like the end of the
fishes?
Sopranos. Is it over?
Yeah, I mean, like, is that it? Because that didn't follow up. Oh, by the way, no one wants to see Dark State. Could we stop with, Retribution 2.0? We just got rid of the. Well, I don't know.
Okay, honestly, can we just make them into individuals? We have great talent there that are signed. Actually, yeah.
This stinks.
The guys we got athletically, yes, we do. And
but
like, yeah, dude. Like that's the thing that I'm looking at. I'm like, we just make it individuals so that we know what's up.
The problem is the stink is on them, and the longer it goes, the harder it's going to be for them to dig out of. I do have to say, when they dove in to attack the 4, that visual I thought was very cool, the way they slid in.
Yeah,
that was cool as anything.
But like, where have they been? Where's already been?
Yeah, like that was really good. I mean, but they've lost to the SIP system in TNA, and it's like it's kind of weird where it's like they're taking over, but not every week. Not like, it's weird. Like, either fully commit to this thing, or you need to stop this and repackage.
Johnny De Silva with a great comment here. Dark State is a great angle for 4 other guys.
Yeah.
But the storyline's still going to be the same regardless of talent. So I don't think it would. It's not going to deliver with the storyline. The storyline doesn't work.
Unrealized Thoughts over on Instagram just said Tony D not getting a call up is criminal. I agree.
I mean,
we don't know he hasn't gotten a call up yet.
Well, maybe he's actually a criminal as far as we're concerned.
He's the one that provided the false ID for the false identification for Blake Monroe.
If you put Trick, Oba, Javon Evans, and Moose together and call them Dark State, I'll watch it every week. I don't care.
I'm in. Anything but Blake Monroe.
Right.
Either way, I'm sorry, Blake or Mariah. What's your name again? Either way, that is going to bring us to the end of the show. Thank you so much. On behalf of me, Clark Taylor, and both of the Ants, we'll be back next week. I won't be with the Ants necessarily, but you never know. We might be back with other stuff. Actually, we're on the daily scheduled, I believe, for a SmackDown review on Saturday. So check that out. Clark and the Ants will be right back on your television. Thank you if you've tuned in. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. I really appreciate you. And I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday evening, afternoon. It could be the middle of the morning, as far as I know. I'm not a geographer, but I hope you have a great rest of your day either way. And we'll talk to you soon.